My name is David Benaim, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do advanced page numbering as well as header and footer settings in Microsoft Word. So here I've got a page number like this, and that starts on page 1. But what about if I wanted it to start with number 1 being on a later page, like page 2, for example, or page 3, or alternatively, when I get to a new part of my document, then I want to restart again from 1. So I'm going to delete these and then show you how to get them from scratch. If you go to the Insert tab, you get here the header and footer section. You can go to page number and choose from one of these options. I'm going to go with bottom of the page, and you can choose one of these kind of advanced ones like this. You can also sort of customize that if you want to. You can change the shape format to be a different color, and that will affect it as you go along, etc., etc. Another way to get to all these menus is just to double click inside the header or footer page, and then you get the header or footer menu. Now I'm going to put a few things in here. So for example, I'm going to add the file path. So for example, I'm going to add the file name, and the .docx is an ugly feature. I don't want that, so I click in there and I can just delete it manually. And then I can go in here and make it bigger, change the color, etc. I can double click on the other side and I can choose that I want here, for example, the date and time, update automatically, should I want that. I'm just going to choose the month. And I can change other things. I can copy and paste images in here as well, or get them directly from here. And by default, when you add a header and footer, it does add the same one in each page. Now there are ways to change that. You can, for example, if you double click in it, you can tick the box that says different first page. And then it thinks that I want this one for the majority of the document, but the first page I want something else. So let's say for the first page, I want to have just a custom name. So title of document, etc. And then I can just make that a little bit bigger. And then that's different, as you can see in the first page. So that has fixed that part, but my second page still shows page number 2. It doesn't show page number 1. So let's go for some other things that we can do. So over here, what's happened is that people have pressed enter, 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 enter to get to a new page, which is bad practice. If I switch on the paragraph marks, then I can see that they've done that. It's better to delete that and enter a break. Now, if you go to the layout tab in breaks, you can either do a page break, which just puts in a new page, and that's the symbol for it, or you can enter a section break, next page section break. Now, the difference is that a section break will create a new section, so to speak, and within a new section, you can unlock the power in Word of switching different functionality. So you can have them in the first page or odd and even pages. These three, to be honest, I never really use. I find them very obscure. Same with these two. I don't find them particularly useful. But page break I use a lot, and section break next page I use a lot. So let me remove this and also add a section break next page. Now over here it doesn't really show me there because of the picture, but if I make the picture smaller, it shows it to me like this with this symbol. If I go back to the home tab and switch this off, I can't see anything, but this shows me that I've added a section break. Now, what does a section break allow me to do? It allows me to treat different sections with different features. So for example, I can go to this first page and I can go to layout and change it to landscape. And then the rest of the document is still portrait, but the first one is landscape. I can also, if I want to, make this one have different number of columns. And again, that doesn't affect what happens in the rest of the document. But if I do it here and I have multiple columns, that has to affect the entire document because I have no section break there. Let me switch off this show or hide paragraph marks. So those are some key features, sort of these things over here as well. But where it gets trickier is using it with headers and footers. So I'm also going to then here go to this part. And even though I clicked different first page, let's have a look at what that yielded. So that didn't actually do anything because I am linking to previous. So if I untick link to previous, I now have a separate thing of what I can do. You'll notice that I did put in some cool information here, but it is overwritten by the fact that I have that link to previous automatically put in. So if I delete that, I can now go back in and put my document info with my file name, delete that, make it red. And then on the other side, I can just sort of double click there and add the date and time, just like I had it before. Update automatically. There we go. So now I have a different first page. Lower down here, I have another enter. I'm going to select those. I can clearly see them because I have clicked on that. Press delete, and then instead I'm going to go to layout and choose a next page section break. Then it goes up here, which is a bit confusing. I press enter to see that it's actually next page section break. Then I'm going to untick this so I can get back to my normal view. Now I see that this is a new section. By default, the new section just takes the same header as my previous section. But I can change that. So this is quite tricky, and I'm going to first show you what not to do. What not to do is to immediately, on the first page header of section 3, change your header. So I'm going to paste in a picture there. And over here in the middle, I'm going to decide to go to document info and put in author, which is my name. Now, that seems like the right thing to do, except if I go to the next page, it hasn't worked. Why? Because I have the different first page selected. This is not different first page of your document. This is different first page of your section. That's why here it clearly says first page header, header. And all the other ones are header. So that's what not to do, because once I untick this, it assumes that I want the default to go up to the first page of my section. So what you should do is, first step, insert your section break. Second step, untick these two things. And third step, change your header as required. So let's do that again, put in this picture, and here I'm going to swap that with the author name, which is me. And then if I go lower down, this then flows through. All right, so that is headers and footers. What about numbering? So numbering, let's say that I want it to start on this later page. So what I can do is, if I do a different first page, it gets rid of the fact that this is page number 1, but the second page is still number 2. So what I can do here is I can go to the page number and format page numbers, and I can say I want to start at 1, like that. And now it's starting page number 2 at 1 here. I could also, if I wanted to, go to where I have my next section, and I can go to this one, and I can go to page number, format page numbers, and I can untick continue from previous section and start at 1. So now I'm starting again at page number 1 as soon as I get into section 3. That's the end of this video. If you liked it, please tick the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want some more videos along the same lines. I publish about 2 to 3 videos every week on Microsoft Word, Outlook, Excel, PowerPoint, and even other apps like Teams and Zoom and non-Microsoft stuff as well. Great. So thanks for watching.